Morning, Dowse. No, afternoon, Dowse.
Thursday afternoon.
Thursday afternoon, yeah.
Yep.
Filming a day early this week, not that it makes a great deal of difference,
No.
because you're not having training tonight, because you've had training this morning.
Brilliant. We've come in, went to Meadow Sports. We've been trying to get a few mornings in where players will have and who can make it. It's been great. Westfield have been fantastic across the world. Meadow Sports have been fantastic. Let me use it. Today, Jody Selly, I made some eats for after training, which was very nice as well. It just gets everybody together. We can't get everybody here, but the ones who can train, it gets them in the morning when at least we know we can, and we appreciate everybody's help on it. But it gets, it's great because the lads are finished now and go home. It's something we'll be doing every day next year. But we just got to try to do the best we can with the weather permitting what we can this year. But it makes a hell of a difference to it.
Why?
Because you see, we're training at the training ground, and you need a miner's hat on if you're going to say anything. You can't say anything as dark as you like.
Yeah.
Westfield sort of help a little bit there. We only see the lads once a week. We only see them on a Thursday night, usually. The loan signers, we've got the agreement we have to sign all the loans. We're going to only come once a week as well. So we get them in the mornings. The loan signers can come because in the mornings, and they're not training with their feeder clubs and under our bubble. And you can see everything you do. You can actually talk about tactics and things like that. You can talk about set players, corners, things we haven't done for the last couple of years, but it's been great. It's been fantastic. One or two players can't make it, but I'm going for the majority who can, because if not, you end up having next year 8 of the players you need maybe on a Thursday night, and a couple of times like Gavin, for example. I'll use that. I might use Cooper as an example. We have got to travel 3.5 hours to do a training session on a Thursday night, to go all the way back the next day and all that, and we've got to come back again on the Saturday morning. It's a lot to take out of them, and stuff. So if we get everybody together, early morning, we've got the rest of the day to recover, to relax, ready for Saturday's game. It makes a hell of a difference.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
So what sort of things have you been focusing on in these morning sessions?
Just trying to get a 0-0 draw, trying to get behind the ball and go for 0-0. We're obviously just a part of the players we've got. There's a confidence. We need to get confidence in the team. We do. We're talking about before. See, it's difficult life in general for everybody. So everybody watches behind the screen now. It's horrible for people. Like the last game we had with crowds down here, it was fantastic with Hartlepool. Now, bottom line is, we've had a horrible Christmas, and that's what we do. So when you have a horrible Christmas, it's just getting out of that horrible Christmas. Apart from that week, the season's been good. We're beating teams by 4s, we're beating teams by 5s, we had the horrible time at Christmas we did. We've come back, we knocked Bromley out of the cup. We drew 0-0 against Maidenhead, who obviously we went for a few of their players in the summer and couldn't get them because where we were and where we were. Then we had a good result the other night. You're not going to get anywhere in the country from the Premiership to the combined counties where you get a 19-year-old kid and a 17-year-old kid up top. In our league, you're not going to get it anywhere. So
Slavy's only 18. Isn't it?
No, it's one. It's impossible to get. So it's just making sure that the focus on the positives and the negatives. We've always been a very attacking team. We've always wanted to score goals. We've always wanted to play the football the right way. And just because you have a bad week, it's all taken out of context and all that. I don't think anybody would have said anything differently. Certainly, the board of directors wouldn't have done. They said anything differently at the start of the season, saying, Dowse, if you can, you got to try to keep up. And that's what the plan was, and in my hearts of hearts, I thought, personally, I never lie, as you know, I thought that would be my hardest achievement, but I said yes, and that's what I said, I think I'm going to keep up, that's what I said. So we get the 5 loan signings in, everybody's very, very young, we've still got the second worst budget in the league, and we'll have a go. We make a couple of results, but all of a sudden we've had a bad Christmas, that's all we've had, where we've got beat off our local rivals, we never scored a goal, but in the last 8 games we've won 3, drawn 3 and lost 2. We've knocked Bromley out the FA Cup and drawn 2s all on their AstroTurf pitch. I was alright against Maidenhead, but at Christmas period, if we'd never had the thing against Aldershot, it wouldn't be having these conversations in the amount of rubbish that people talk about. So it's important that we don't let anything go overboard what it is. If anything said to me, you're going to finish 4th bottom, I think even the most moaning fan ever would say, okay, I'll take that Dowse for where you've been this season. John, the new guy, wants to be found at the club, which is great. He's offered to see if we can get a bit more money in the camp. And like you say, the likes of Loza, who was saying, John, we came out the budget what I had at the start of the season. The first time it's changed was Musa's signing, and that's somebody who I wanted to work with anyway. So Musa's been the first sign out of John's new money, if you like. So it's difficult because everybody in the country's under contract. We just got to get on for it. You never get yourself down about it and think, well, what do you expect now? I'm going to blame the start of the season on everything. I knew what the rules were at the start of the season. I knew we were going to get stick because we've had a very successful time down here. We're talking about the glory years which are on the wall there. We've had a bit of glory since we've been here in the last 2.5 years with the Torquay game in the Cup and Lincoln Swindon game and the Watford game, then the promotions and stuff like that, and even being top of the league. Then all of a sudden I thought I've got my hardest task in football when I had everything taken away from me. 5 players left, 2 going to Maidenhead, Heidi going, Loza going, Musa going, and we had to start, and we're just getting found out a bit. That's all we're doing. But if I say it again, it's been one bad week, because if you look at the others before that bad week, we were scoring 5s, 4s and 5s against teams. After that bad week, if you like, it hasn't been the worst ever. And, we have a good result in the FA Trophy. We had another good result last night and all that, so we're not in that bad, but I think this gets blown out of proportion a little bit. And did people fully expect we to compete with me in head? Is that what was saying at the start of the season? Because I weren't. Because I'm being honest here, when I first come here, they said, listen, we might have a bit of fun in the Conference South because that's where we are at the minute. I believe we're bigger than that, but with this new bloke coming on, I know we are, and I know I've got to dig into the end of the season. That's what I've got to do. No money or not feel sorry for myself. I'd rather support us. If anybody, whatever, have a crack at me than the players need a bit of love and care, because they're all young lads, except for 1 or 2 of them, all young kids. We've never been in this position before where there's demand on them. Can I get 1 more 2 senior players in? That's what we're trying to do to help. Obviously Casey's injury, and Loza, what are you saying Loza for? He's only had a week with her. He's had 10 days with her and he's got an injury. That's unfortunate. Casey's injury is unfortunate. So bottom line is we just got to dig in the best we possibly can. I've said we won't get relegated, and I'll stick by that. But the bottom line is we've just got to come and fight, and we've got some really easy games coming up with Stockport and Sutton twice and Torquay and all that. But that's what we're there for. That's what we're to have a crack at them. So a little working, part-time work, will go again. That's what we'll do.
Sure. So let's turn to an aspect of a good week then.
Yeah.
Tuesday night, you made a brave decision and made changes at half-time, and they paid off.
I sensed the lack of confidence in the first half because we hadn't scored a couple of games, and because there's big hype about how bad we've been playing, because I know we're laughing and joke about it on the training ground because we're just laughing there, saying don't bite on it and all that, because one thing, Martin Taylor's been with me 12 years. I reckon 0-0 is the least result I've ever had in my whole life. I blame myself, and Ian will flicking backwards on this one where they argued with me, because even against Kings Lynn and all that, we're 2-1 up. I didn't want to see the game out. I wanted to win 3-1 instead of 2-1, and we got beat, and I'll blame myself for that, to be honest. I've always tried to win a game of football. I've always tried to go in there. I've never ever once played for a 0-0 draw. I've never ever once not tried to win a game. I've never ever once tried to sit behind the ball. The only time we did do it very well, and I was against Swindon away at that time when Greg Lower kept in the corner for about 10 minutes. So all the things, and like you see, a couple of weeks before that, we're winning by 4s and 5s. But bottom line is what when I sense a little bit of players are losing form a little bit, which they will do. Young players and all, I'm Lofthouse 20, same as Dempsey, young kid, and stuff like that. Obviously, we had to go through a lot, to be honest, young lads playing. But so you make a decision. Jaden Well's been knocking on the door, 100%. I had to look after him early on this season because he had his youth. When he's come training, he's done okay. And also, I just thought, he has nicked goals, he can't get goals. He's come on and he changed the game completely. I thought he'd change, not because of his goals, where he come on and played. The first ball stuck to him. He won a header in the air. He chased down the centre half. He did all the things for a 17-year-old kid. But if he wants to be a player, he's got to do it again. So I've told him, as long as he keeps off social media, then he's got a chance to play on Saturday. If he goes on social media, he's not playing. He's just got to leave him alone. Leave the kid alone. He doesn't need any more hype. He doesn't need any more. It's obviously he says I've got a couple of tweets off the lads and all that. But it's obviously they're going to tweet him because he's got him out of jail. It's obviously people go, oh, young German, but because he's got him out of jail. Was it brave? Probably because it could have went the other way, and it was going the other way when we're 2-0 down. But enthusiasm of the 2 young kids up top, 18, 17 years old or whatever, paid off massively. Hopefully he'll do it again, so good.
They're the 2 youngest scorers that Woking have ever had in the National League.
And it's not happening to one other.
Just like that.
I know, and it's not going to happen to one other club in the whole country from top to bottom. Nobody will have a forward line that young. Listen, it's lovely having young kids in. And if the North and South did fold and we couldn't get relegate, which is the aim to stay up this year, then I would play with young kids. I would get some of young kids in the last 10 games, like the likes of Leo and people like that who've been round with. Rumble was here today, done very, very well, and lads like that, I would get them involved, I would, why not? So it's everything else. You just got to take the pressure off the lads a bit, because I just sense the big thing that confidence is a massive thing in football, and I just sense that I get a bit concerned. We just have to take the heat off them and say, listen, hold on a minute, 2.5 years, I've got 9 of the Conference South players playing, and we couldn't afford blinking. Danny was going to play the first game of the season. I couldn't afford anybody all of this. So we've built a blinking little side we're here. We're going to try to improve it as time goes on. A lot of young lads around the team. A lot of lads have been here a long time as well. Like, listen, at the end of the season, it might be sick of them a little bit and sick of me a little bit. That's how football works. But we just got to make sure that we're getting enough points on the board. I think it's 8 more wins to make sure we stay in this league. And I don't think any fan out there would think anything differently. That's why, the kid at Nathan thingy, the kid at what's it called, at Maidenhead, centre forward. I remember going in the summer and sitting around his house.
Nathan Blissett,
and sitting around his house and we need so much power like that, and he decided to go out to Maidenhead and all that, and we lost Sean and Manny and things we did. So all us new teams like that are going to be hard to beat, and we just got to, and I do think with John coming in, he doesn't want to be this little working anymore. He doesn't want to be the one where we get all the money taken away and we'll always lose with best players and all that, No, I don't either. And he's going to give us a couple of years to try to have a crack at the top 10, and he'll do that. We have a crack at the top 7 every year, not just once a year. The plans to try to get in the Football League like everybody's is, so we just got to make sure that we're digging at the right things. But I knew at the start of the season, I told the board of directors, I told everybody else who want to listen to me that we'll stay in the league, but I also knew it would be my biggest achievement, and I knew along the way we'll get a few defeats, and I knew I'd get a bit of stick as well. So apart from that, I just got to get on with it, to be honest.
So, but you must be pleased not just about Jaden coming on and getting 2 goals, but also Johnny Goddard seems to have improved his form radically, and you got a knock down from Musa to set up the first goal as well.
Musa was our best player by a million miles, I think. I thought Musa was head and shoulders with everybody else. He's the first one, like I said, of John's money coming in to build for the future. He was our best player. And I thought Johnny Goddard was. I thought Johnny, kept the ball with skills and all that. Some of the lads are having a bad time. Some of the lads aren't playing very well. It's just a lack of form. That's all it is. A lack of that week I told you about. And they've got to snap out of that week, and we've got to help them snap out of it. And go on the training ground in a positive manner like we did this morning. And Ian's already been doing, getting the ball, passing it and moving it and crossing all the things we teach them on the training ground to move the ball quickly and enjoy the ball when they can. And we've managed to do it in a few mornings now, which is great. But Johnny's form's come back in from being nowhere. Like, if you look at when I said a couple of weeks ago, you want people from the outside coming in. Well, no, you've got Johnny, who was on the outside with his injury, coming in and staying in the team. You got young Jaden now coming in, so it's great for them, So it's, we've got to make sure that we move on. Great game Saturday against the title favourites, and got a new manager as well. Tough game, but we just got to get on with it. But I was like with a character, because when you're 2-0 down in field, and go, and I just thought once we got that goal, and that's when listen, we can trip on the training, we'll have meetings we can in here, we can have the togetherness over the lunch we can go on the training ground for double sessions if need be. We can't because we're part-time, but we could. We can actually tell them how much we love them. We can shout at them. You need to get a result. I just thought once a goal went in, we're there. And once that went in, it was only going to be one winner. If a game goes on in 10 minutes, we win the game. So I was delighted to come out there unscathed. And just like I was a week beforehand, getting through the last 32 in the country in the trophy. So plenty of football to play. Yes, it's going to be tough. Of course it is. But we'll be okay. We'll not get relegated. We'll be all right.
Not very long left in the transfer window. Are you likely to see any more action in that?
Yeah, but we can still go after the window. We just can't sign players from the Premiership.
Yeah.
So but we have got an eye on somebody in there. We're having 1 or 2. Yeah, of course. The only thing, the squad seems a bit bigger a little bit, because where I could have got players out, a couple in, I keep saying the Raymond Leagues or Conference South, we could have said, because Tops can't play on Ashford turf, so I could have went, well, Tops, we've got 4 games coming on Ashford turf, go and get yourself out there a month, blah blah, and come back at the end of the month. But you couldn't do things like that because there's nobody out there. So we've got a bit of wheeling and dealing to do. Maybe going into Saturday, and after that we'll wait and see what comes up. And of course, we're looking at somebody in the Premiership now, thinking they might have a player available if he can't get a league team. And that seems to be the norm now. That we've went in for a couple of players, and I've had money for 1 or 2 players, but I want to see things out the end of the season. I don't blame them. I don't want to come part-time. I don't blame them that either. So it's try to get the best of the best. That's what we're trying to do, and that's what we've always tried to do.
Sure. And you've mentioned Saturday's game against Stockport, and as you've said, a new manager. Does that make it a good time to play a team or a bad time?
I've been in that position a couple of times. You go in, I remember going at Kingstonian when I was a new manager and I lost 6 on the spin, and going in there and trying to be fanted, and we lost another 3 before you do. You get you in. And I remember going to Hampton Richmond where we had lost and we won 5 on the spin, then we lost, you know. But a new manager certainly want to do things his way. He's been down to Brighton or Gava and things like that. And he's got experienced people like Mark McGee around him who, you know, who's been there, seen it, done it. So they've obviously, you know, they're very well big hitters up there. They think they're going to win the league, rightly so, what they've got and the players have got. It'll either go both ways. It'll not, I don't think there'll be anything, you know, it'll go one way or the other. It'll either be one impressive manager, bump there, or not so sure, because when you know another manager comes in, if you're playing, you're not so sure if you're part of his plans, just like here or anywhere else. So imagine it'll go 2 ways. It'll, you know, it'll be an interesting game. Will it change the way they play? We don't know. You know, will it go a different way? I don't know that either. But he's been given a 3.5-year contract, I gather, so he'll have plenty of time to do it.
I've watched an interview with him this morning actually, and he said he was asked what will be his style of play, and he said the only thing he gave away was that he will insist and expect them to be hard working. So I imagine they're going to press. Yeah,
of course. And that should be the minimum. I think all managers want that from the teams. I think all managers think it should be hard working down here. And when you do it well, it just takes some beating. So I imagine they will want to impress him. If he's only got a couple of days with him, but that's his philosophy straight away. It's a good philosophy to have. So I'm expecting a massively tough game.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be right as well. Yeah. Okay, thanks for your time today.
Cheers,
Good luck on Saturday.
Thanks very much.